And Bryce Young too. Yeah, it's an issue. His size. I think that
It is, but
Carolina. No, they are. So the person I talked to in the organization, I'll just say he's higher up, and they're confident that Bryce Young is going to be fine. Okay,
yeah.
they know he's short, but they say he's even reading the field fine as is right now, going through his progressions. But as Josh Lucas pointed out, okay, there's two parts to this. There's that, maybe you can see the field fine, but also when there's pressure, like, are you Lamar Jackson who can just turn into this electrifying, juking Barry Sanders creature to evade the rush? Are you Josh Allen, Ben Roethlisberger, just kind of throwing them off, shucking guys away? What's like he's slithery, and he was able to get away from pressure at Alabama, but that's a different defensive lineman that you're facing in college versus what you're facing in the pros. I mean, these D linemen are physical specimens across the board.
Defense in general, Tyler. I learned it quick with Reggie Bush in New Orleans when we drafted him.
Perfect example,
That's when
right?
I said. That's when I was still young enough in the NFL. I'm sure the veteran scouts in the NFL probably had concerns that Reggie wasn't gonna, it doesn't necessarily just translate like that. But that was my first, like, man, he has to work hard to gain extra yards. Like, even Reggie has to be special to gain 10 yards, and make a guy
Yeah.
miss. It's that hard. So yeah,
But you know
Bryce
what?
Young's arm that's one thing I can't right now for me that I'm bothered with is the arm strength. Balls are
Is that
dying.
right? The arm strength. See,
It's
that's an element to his game that I didn't
I
really get into.
right. I see balls dying. You're seeing guys laying out for Adam Thielen's laying out for 8-yard outcuts. I mean, balls aren't, what I'm saying? They're fighting for yards right now. And that might just be a part of everything's going wrong. And it's why I tell you, I really try not to be too hard on rookies. I want to see the positives. Like, I like what I saw from Richardson. I love what I'm seeing from Stroud. I want to see it from Bryce Young. I'm not seeing arm strength. He just looks like a guy trying to get through a game right now and compete. He's fighting right now. Jordan Love, too. Jordan Love, you guys have talked. I don't want to talk about him anymore, but yeah, same deal. I'm not judging him all this year. I mean, we see the good. They have to keep building. They're doing some good things on offense. They're not that far behind. He's going to have to make plays. They all do. They all have to get better.
I think if you're Carolina too, like there, there's a hypothetical here where I can see Bryce Young being a top 12 quarterback in
No question.
2024.
I mean, they
He,
had to
he can
see.
get there, but there's a lot of steps. Like they need to get Austin Corbett back at guard. They're really high on him. They need Zavala, the rookie fourth round pick, to be a player. They need to sign another interior lineman, like Josh Lucas said. Those Drew Brees teams that you guys were scouts for, it all started with the guards, the depth at the pocket, right? If you've got a pocket, then you don't have to
We
worry
had
about shucking
Breeze.
guys off.
The difference that I noticed with Breeze, Bryce Young, and when I watch Purdy, Purdy is more like Breeze than Bryce Young is like Breeze, as far as similar sizes. But what I'm watching is the what Purdy's doing is fun. Like he's throwing guys open. Like that is a skill that when you see that, that's what Breeze used to do. When you're throwing guys open,
Yeah.
that's masterful, I think. And Bryce
That's what
Young's not
CJ
there.
Stroud's doing too.
No question, Stroud's doing it. So that's when you see that's to me is when you see guys they're getting it like early, and they're talented. And Purdy seems plenty talented, by the way. Like I'm not a
Oh,
believer anymore. I'm over all the. I've seen enough to know now
same,
that
same.
yeah, over it. They should have beat Cleveland. Tyler, we're making a big deal about that game. They literally missed a field goal. Right.
Totally. And
Okay.
Purdy came alive that last drive, right?
It's,
Like he had 9 completions up to that point, and then he
bad
put them in
weather.
position to win the game.
Right. Northeast weather, Midwest weather, whatever Cleveland is. And there's Purdy with everybody doesn't have an arm, blah, blah, blah. He's fine. That team is so locked and loaded. It's insane how good they are.
All in on Brock Purdy. I agree. And obviously, I've been skeptical, cynical of how Kyle Shanahan has kind of navigated the quarterback position, but you can see it. For what he wants to do schematically, it matches up with Brock Purdy's strength as a decision
It's
maker.
funny to me to think, I don't know. There's a lot funny about that in the whole Purdy thing. But I looked at his college stats at Iowa State compared to Drew Brees' college stats at Purdue. And it was similar where they had the 4-year careers, the crazy numbers. Purdy's were better, but times have changed. But saying it just made me think that's Brees. Brees is a good athlete too. Like he could move
Yeah.
around in the pocket. I mean, and Purdy
He
does that
could.
too.
And he didn't need the elite tackles because
No,
he just wanted to step up into the pocket, right?
because they
Take a
know
few
where they're going
steps
with the
up.
ball, Tyler. They know where they're going with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They know where they know how much time they need to get that ball.
I think Bryce Young knows where he's going too, so that would give you a little hope.
Yes, I wouldn't comment on that yet. They're fighting. Like I hate for a rookie now they're switching play callers. You know what I mean? It's like I don't like any of that for them for Bryce Young.
Pressure's on in Carolina. David Tepper has made that quite clear. Jobs are on the line.